Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 16 here of the Calendar Season League. I am your host, Kata, and you join us just as the qualifying has literally just got underway moments ago. Nothing, well, you've not missed anything. Only 7 drivers here today. It's a short qualifying, so 18-minute qualifying, followed by a 25% race. And so we're just going to wait for some cars to get out onto the tracks, which hopefully won't be too much longer. As we just, yeah. In terms of how we're looking so far, current championship leader Frank Honda isn't here tonight. Unity, I believe, who's in second place coming into this race, is here, and he's part of what's looking very much likely going to be a easy win for Sauber in the Constructors' Championship. And we've got some movement out there at Force India. Is that Blue? That is Blue. He is on his way out of the garage, going to be the first man onto the track, closely followed by Raven Duck. Raven Duck coming out on those soft tyres. Interesting call from him, but I'm sure he knows what he's doing. So in terms of weather, I don't know the full weather forecast, but we can judge by how it's looking at the moment, and it's looking a little bit cloudy, but still some lovely blue skies in the air. Obviously, with dynamic weather, things can change in a moment, which does make things ever so more interesting. And for those who are unaware of the track history, well, this is actually the Olympic Park. The long turn 3, which will 4, sorry, actually goes round where the flame used to be, and so it makes for some interesting sights along the way. As you can actually see the flame just there in the top. As you can see, the flame just there in the top right of your screen. Thanks to Blue for letting me see another shot of that. Blue with that little bit of lag there. So let's actually have a look at Raven Duck. He's going to be the first man to set a flying lap, and we will stay with him as he does so. So, relatively new track in the calendar. So it's not been around for a very long time. Started in 2014 with its first official race. So there were a few back in the 1910s, but they weren't really part of the championship back then. But interesting enough, all the races hosted here over those 5 years, including the 2 unofficial ones, were all run by Mercedes-Benz, and so that's a good starting point for them coming into this. Obviously, big controversy happening last season with Bottas being told to get out of the way for Lewis Hamilton, but we're on board at the moment with Raven Duck as he's coming into that tight turn 2 and a little bit of corner casting going on there. And shifting into neutral, which is the wrong gear, as you go around the long turn 4. Very tricky this corner if you've got cold tyres, because you just lose that back end. He's definitely not on a flying lap, so let's have a quick flick back to Blue, who's just gone through the kink of turn 1, down this long straight down towards turn 2. Let's see if he can make it any better. And he does, nice and neatly through that corner. And he's coming around this long turn 4. Quite tricky if the tyres are cold, as I said, because that back end can step out on you. Hard braking into turn 5, using all the curves and trying to use all the track, obviously not using too much to invalidate. Through the right of turn 6, get the power down there through the little kink of turn 7, not really a corner. Keep it to the left through turn 8. Get that power down. You come up to the double left hand of turns 9 and 10. Crucial to get those ones correct. Then across the DRS detection point there, and then onto the back straight through turn 11, and then through turn 12. DRS wide open now as you go down towards turn 13, which is this little kink here, and then that hard braking, blind braking point really into 14. Shift over to the right, then through the left of 15. Going to the sort of the slow section now as you go through 16, and so a little locker there for Blue. 16 and 17, that wall there on the left can catch you out, so it's quite close. And then through 18, and then the final right of turn 19. And Blue's done a 131, pretty much 131 dead. So, Positive Vibes has just started his lap. Elsewhere, Unity's put in a 132.4. Spartan has put in a 32, pretty much a 33 actually, let's call it. So Wild Wolf is on an installation lap, so let's have a look at Positive Vibes. He's just gone out of the garage. Just started flying lap, sorry. This is coming up towards turn 6 now. And he's going to look and try and get himself as close to the 32s as he can possibly do. Also, you expect Raven Duck to be also on another fly. He's heading down the back straight in mode 5, so yes, that looks like a flying lap. Slamming on those brakes into that really tricky corner. You can see a lot of overtakes into 14. If they're not made at 14, they could be made into 15. Just keeping out that wall on the left. He does nicely. And he's actually coming to the pits. Not happy with that lap by the looks of things. So Positive Vibes coming up to where he just was through 16 and 17. Final 2 corners for him now, and the line is so close to this last corner that you can actually just sort of slide off this corner and cross the line as you go through 19, and there's the line there. Barely even get straight before you hit it, and he's done a 35.2, so a little bit down on what he can do. Wild Wolf 1 coming down the back straight now. Again, yellows and 63, just ignore those at this point in time. Wild Wolf 1 using all the available track there. Hopefully he's not invalidated. Throws into 16 and 17. Obviously not invalidated because he's still going. Final 2 corners for him. Just a little bit off the apex there in 18. Gets it back there for 19, and he comes across with a 33.56. So just pushing his teammate there. As Vin has come out of the pits, he's on his out lap. One will actually put his second lap then on those hypersofts. So let's see where Vin is. He's a long way to go. He's just going through 9 and 10 now. His Positive Vibes going again now because that's him in front and he's going rather slow, I think. Yeah, he's 2 seconds down already on his best. As Raven Duck heads out the garage once again, he is out on some hypersofts then. And he's got it all to do from back there. He's done a 44.6. Obviously made a mistake on his lap. Backed out of it quite early on. So let's have a look at Vin, see where he is. He's just come up to 16 and 17. And he's going to get his lap underway. He's got 10 minutes left of this session. And it's all still to play for. So Vin has got his lap underway. And this is the first corner. This is where you're going to see some issues come the race potentially. I've seen a lot of crashes on the opening lap going into turn 1 and then into 2. If you think 2's bad, 1's the killer. People at high speeds trying to take that corner. Fuel to the brim. Just catches you out sometimes. Then coming through turn 5, get that power down. Keeping at the wall. Just have a quick look. Let's have a quick look and see where Raven Duck is. He's about to start as Wild Wolf and has retired from session. Not sure where that was. Was it yellow in sector 3 a moment ago, but that's gone. So let's go back on board with Vin as he's coming up to turn 11. He goes. Breaking into 14, little lockup, keeps it though off from going too wide. Two corners left then for Vin, let's see what he can do. It's going to be 132, pretty much 132 dead, so up to P2 for him. So let's go back to Raven Duck. He is just coming up to 9 and 10 himself. So coming up to halfway through his lap. Should get a split here. He should be up on his previous best. If he's down, I'll be very worried. As his previous best was a 44.6. Yellow in sector 1, probably not too much to worry about. Don't get a split time, unfortunately. So just 4 corners left for Romanduck. Currently P7. He knows if you can get it in the 132s, he'll definitely be not last. 2 corners to go then. Looking good and tidy. 32.9, so P4 as it stands. But I'm sure he'll find room to improve, as he looks like he's actually going again. Or he's just trying to get back to the pits as soon as he can to get another set of tyres on and go again. Spartan is on the back straight now. And he's going to try and get himself up back into P4 then. See if he's got what it takes to get there. Just 2 corners to go then for Spartan. And he looks like he's actually coming to the pits then. So he's bailed out of his attempt. Where is his teammate though? His teammate is on an absolute flyer. Similar place to where Spartan just was. Using all the available track there. And not bad for an in-lap. Obviously just a bit off the pace. So I didn't want to do anything else. See where Positive Vibes is. He's just warming up his tyres. He's on an outlap. Romanduck is still going though. Can't tell if this is an in-lap or another fly lap, but he's going for it again. He's got no red fuel, so he's probably going for it. Yep, he's got 2 corners to go. Let's see if he can improve on his time. It's going to be tight. He might just sneak an improvement. He does. 3/10 up. And he sets up his 4th place quite well. Unity is on an in lap because he's run out of ERS and about to run out of fuel. He's currently P2. Fair bit off blue though. But he knows he's got it all to do. 5.5 minutes left of this session. So just enough time for another run or 2, depends if you're lucky or not. Probably just enough time for one run. You might be able to fuel up for a few laps and just go for it. So let's see. Positive Vibes is on a fly, currently going through turn 11. Now into this hard braking turn 14, see if you can pick it perfectly. Carries a lot of speed into it. Neatly done though. Using all that available track on the exit. Just 4 corners to go now. See if he can get himself ahead of his teammate. As he's coming up to the final couple of corners now, he needs to get into the 33s. I think he's going to be just outside of 33s. 34.67. Improvement in half a second, but unfortunately not enough to move him off P7. And he was going again, but he hasn't opened his DRS, so he's probably not going again. And he has retired from session with 4 minutes to go. Feeling he's put everything into that he could, and isn't going to improve. So we've got Spartan, Vin and Blue all on outlaps at the moment. Let's see. Vin is currently coming up to turn 8. Where's Spartan? He's coming up to turn 8. He's on some ultra softs, interesting enough. Blue's coming up to turn 14, so he's going to be the first man to start a flying lap. Unity's also come out of the pits, are all looking up set for their last run or 2. Have they fueled up for 2 laps or just that 1? We shall find out shortly. So 3 minutes left of the session. Romanduck's still in the pits, so I was going to leave it until the last man to come out. As Blue gets one of his last laps underway. Getting up to the top speed, look at that. 207, 208 miles an hour going down that straight. into the second and third corner. And he's got some pace in that car. He's got a comfortable P1 as it stands. Will he make it even more comfortable? Let's have a quick look back to see his teammate, how he's getting on these Ultra Softs. Interesting enough, going for a different strategy, but if he can make it work, all credit to him. Obviously, Hypers, Ultras and Softs are the tyres of choice here today. But in a 25% lap, 25% race, you don't really use the hard compound unless you have an incident on the opening lap. And they'll be stopping quite early on to change. So Spartan's looking nice and neat with those Ultras on. Let's go back to his teammate. He's going to be the next man to finish a lap. Just going through the exit of 15 now. 4 corners to go. Red fuel, so he's probably just going to do this, and that is it. It's coming up to the final couple of corners now. Let's see if he can improve. He does. It is a 30.4, and that is lay down a marker then. Vin is coming up to the final corner now, and he goes up to P2 then, improvement of 0.3. Spartan is backed out, so he's going to be going again. Is Blue going again? No, he's not. He's in mode 0. Vin's probably not going again based on how he's weaving down that straight. So Raven Duck is about to get his underway. Where's Unity? He's about to get his underway. So let's stick with Unity in his attempt to get up there. Oh, that was his front lap. My apologies. He has jumped up to P2. Looked like an outlap. He's not going for another lap though. He's done for the day. So it comes down to Raven Duck and Spartan. See which one can get up there. Spartan on these Ultra Softs. Don't expect him to get up there with those tyres, but you just never know. So he comes through the kink of turn 7. Where's Raven Duck? He's just going through turn 5. A little wide on the exit. So he throws into 6. He's pushing this car. He knows there's room to improve, but can he find it? Where's Spartan? He's currently going down the back straight, running low on that fuel. Up by nearly 0.2 on his previous best. As it stands though, it won't be enough to beat Raven Duck. It'll just be enough to start on a set of Ultras. As the session has now officially closed, we've just got 2 drivers to cross the line. First up is going to be Spartan. Coming up to the final corner now, let's see what he can do. Can he get ahead of Raven Duck? He does. Massive improvement then. It's all on Raven Duck's shoulders, and he's backed out of his lap. He's going to be starting P5 then. So Blue will be starting at the front with a incredible time of 130.45. Unity's 131.7 is quite the way off the back. And this should be there for Unity to Blue just to run away with this. So have a quick final rundown of those qualifying positions before we get the race underway. No formation lap on the race, we'll just be straight into the action. So Blue there, 1.24 seconds clear of Unity in P2. So a comfortable pole position for him. Vin in P3, Spartan P4, Raven Duck P5, Wildapple 1 P6, and Positive Vibes P7. So Spartan will be starting on these Ultra Softs, looking to go long in that first stint. He's 2 seconds off the pace though in qualifying on those tyres. Probably roughly means he's about 0.4 off the pace, because that's probably about 1.5 seconds off with those tyres, but we shall see when we get to the race, which is coming up now. And as we just wait for everyone to put their setups on, change those tyres. Well, they can't change their tyres. They can make those minor adjustments to the setup and load into the game, and then we can get underway. All eyes will be on Blue after that immense qualifying. Can he convert it into a race win? He needs the start to do it. And it's all going to come down to this start. If he can hold it into turn 5, I'd say, then he will have a great chance. So we're just waiting for Spartan and Raven Duck to make their minor adjustments, and we'll be underway, as we are now. Oh, that's not what I wanted. And we're off. Ferrari a little slow on the left hand side, that'll be Vin. And he's going to get taken by Spartan into turn 1. They're all through turn 1 cleanly. Unity looking to make a move on Blue. Blue's got the inside line into turn 1. Spartan, Unity has taken it then off Blue. And Blue's already dropped back. That's not what he wanted off the start. That's down the inside goes Positive Vibes on Spartan. Great overtake then from the Mercedes boys. Spartan going to be braking late. He has broken late. A little bit of contact there between Positive Vibes and Spartan, but Spartan claiming back that P4. Raven Duck losing out at the start, then to Positive Vibes. And Positive Vibes gaining on his teammate as well. But Unity crucially taking the race lead off Blue. Has that pressure got to Blue? Or has he just set a really quick setup on that's not going to convert into race pace? He's still within touch distance. Raven Duck has dropped off the back now. To the back now, should we say. And he's on the rear of Wild Wolf 1. He's going to make a move down into turn 14. Don't think so, he's just a little bit too far back. Let's have a look back at the front. Blue and Unity are in a little race of their own. Vin is still hanging around there. Can they start pulling away though? As there's Raven Duck looks like he's made a little mistake. Has he picked up a bit of damage? He has. That's a front wing completely annihilated then for Raven Duck, and he's having to make that very early pit stop. And he's probably going to go onto the softs. Then Spartan has dropped right back as well by the looks of things. Where is he gone? Okay, no, it's just Positive Vibes has bugged out a little bit. He's taken by his teammate then into turn 2. So Wild 1 is now P5. Positive Vibes isn't where he says he is. Just to make things a bit more interesting, as Vin and Blue Unity all still battling it out then. Positive Vibes now has dropped back into his correct position. He's back in P6, so order is starting to resume itself. As Blue, Positive Vibe, Blue, Unity and Vin are still battling out for this lead. Going to get DRS next time around. So half a second between these guys as we're going to get DRS next time around, and the detection point is actually after the start finish line, so they're going to get it on the first straight. And Unity needs to be ready for this, as he could, if he's not ready, he could lose 2 places. And you got a little, not the best drive there. Blue's right on his tail. DRS is coming. Unity's going to lose the place. Oh, very close. Unity coming across the defender's position. Blue's going to go through, take the lead. He's going to be lost on the brakes. He is lost on the brakes. He's cut the corner a little bit, comes back to try and take it. A little bit of nudge there on Unity. Unity's got the outside line now of turn 4, but crucially had the inside into turn 5. If you can get there, he looks, sends it, but just not close enough. He has to be careful though, because Vin is right up his rear, looking for a way through. And we've got a 3-horse race for first, second and third here. Wild One picking up the first penalty of the day. And Vin also picking up penalties. You just saw going across that corner a little bit too much. Picking up that penalty as he slides through there. And we expect the pittings to happen probably around lap 4 or 5. Maybe 6 if they want to push it. As Vin has dropped off the back then. Unity with that DRS on Blue. Just not close enough as it stands to make a move. But crucially, he's still there on the back of him. Just needs to hold on to the back of him now. Who is going to be the first one of these drivers to blink and make that pit stop? Is anyone going to attempt the undercut? So obviously it's still a little bit early, and potentially next time around they might have a think about pitting. If not, the time after that. Depends on how they're feeling on those tyres. But Blue with the fastest lap there with a 1:34 point something that I couldn't quite read. Apologies, I got a hiccup. So Unity 0.7 off the back then of Blue. Still in the DRS zone, just not being able to gain. Unity's running low on that ERS. Look at that, he's at 10%. He's running in mode 4 as Ravenduck has DNF in sector 3. Was not his day today, unfortunately for him. And Unity needs to be careful because he's going to run out of ERS when it really matters here. Because he's keeping it in mode 4 to try and keep up to the back of Blue. He's not going to run out of ERS for the... Well, he might run out of ERS for the lap, you never know. He's going to run out of ERS on the straight, I suspect, coming up in a moment. Oh, he's just loose in that back end a little bit, stepped out on him. He's now 0.9 off the back of Blue. And that ERS is coming dangerously close to running out. Down to 2% there on that straight. He's still fighting down the back of Blue. Blue's ERS is miles ahead. It's currently at 67%. As Unity finally shifted down to mode 1 to just save up a little bit. So he's tanked it quite hard, trying to keep on the back, and he's now fallen out of the DRS range on Blue. As Blue goes faster than 34 dead. So we've got our first pit stops. Vin has pitted on lap 5. He's going to get those ultra softs on. Going to try a little undercut then on Unity. See if this works. Could be interesting. He's going to come out right at the back in front of Wild Wolf 1, but crucially for him, he's going to completely clear air as there's no one else around. Let's have a look back up at Unity. He's starting to manage his ERS a little bit more now. Still a fair bit off what Blue has, but Blue is on 60-70%, whilst Unity was on 6 or 7%. So a big difference there between those two drivers. So Vin has come out, he's 12.8 off the back of Positive Vibes. Let's have a quick look at gaps of leaders. See if that starts coming down. 28.5. They are cold tyres, don't forget, so just going to take a few corners to come up to operating temperature. Not an issue we're going to have going forward, I believe, in F1, where the operating temperature is going to be much, much lower of these tyres. Obviously, I'm not sure if that's been fully announced yet, but I believe they're trying to do something with it. And Vin is actually dropping back then. He's 29 seconds off the back of Blue. He might be just trying to get the undercut on Unity. Let's have a look back up at the front. Blue is not coming in. Unity, however, is coming in. And let's see if Vin has put in a flying opening lap on those ultras to make the undercut work. Whereas Vin then... Unity's got a long way down this pit lane to go. One of the last garages. Wait, no, sorry, it is the last garage. So Vin coming up to the final two corners now. Let's see where Unity's heading out now, and he's going to get up to speed. It's going to be close. As Vin comes around that corner, and it's not as close as I was expecting. It's a second and a half or so between them. So Unity holding off the undercut then from Vin. Blue, Spartan and Positive Vibes are still to pit. Blue's tyres are looking dreadful. He's drifting through turn 11 there. Has his tyres run the course? I think he must be on his way into the pits at this precise moment then. I'm just keeping an eye on the gap to Spartan. It's come down a little bit, 0.8 on this last lap. So blue is coming into the pits. Tricky pit entry here. If you run a little bit too deep, you do overshoot and pick up a corner cutting penalty. But blue is in the pits. Where is Unity then? Unity is coming up to turn 16, 17. He should have him covered. Let's have a look. Where is blue? He's not stuck in the pits, fortunately. So Unity is coming up to the final corner now. Don't think he's going to be close enough. And blue comes out. Blue's already going up to speed now, so Unity will not be getting in front of him. And as you can see in the distance is blue. He's 3 seconds up the field. So let's go back on to blue. Should be starting to make some moves soon on Positive Vibes. He's going for a very long opening stint on his ultras and his hyper softs. And blue is reeling him in already. And he's going to get some DRS to make that overtake as well. To go through 8. Coming up to 9 and 10. Detection point is just here. So there it is. He's definitely got DRS then. And Positive Vibes won't defend too hard against this, as he knows his tyres are shot. And blue makes that pass then up into P2. Ooh. Positive Vibes looking like he's making a dive down the inside there. A little late on the brakes potentially. As Vin picks up another 3-second penalty. That's not good news for him. He's on 6 seconds already. And Positive Vibes is going to be heading into the pits then. And blue's next target is his teammate. He may be 13 seconds up the field, but Spartan has to pit. But will pit onto Hypersofts and could potentially come after Bodie in place. So let's have a look at Vin, who did just pick up that penalty. He's 2 seconds off the back of Unity. Trying to close him down. We're on lap 8 of 13. Has Vin got what it takes to get after Unity and get that position? As that gap is now 1.9 between Vin and Unity. It's coming down a little bit here and there. Has Vin got... what's he got left in that locker? What's he got fuel-wise left? Still hovering around 1.9 up to 2 seconds now. I suspect we'll see Spartan coming in potentially this lap or next. I'm trying to do 5 laps on those ultras and hyper, sorry, and here he comes. So blue will take back the lead. Where will Spartan come out? Let's have a look quickly at the gaps to lead. He's going to come out around the position of Wild Wolf, but he'll have some lovely fresh sticky hypersofts on. As blue goes faster than everyone once again. 33.6 then for him. Let's have a quick look. Spartan is coming down the pit lane now. Where's Wild Wolf? He's coming out of the final corner. This was going to be tighter than we've seen in most of them. I think Wild Wolf will have him. Yep. Unity with a 3-second penalty. Obviously Vin has 6 seconds penalty so far. So Spartan 2.5 seconds off the back of Wild Wolf with some fresh hypersofts on. He's going to look to carve that gap up. He's got 4 laps to get up after Wolf, make the pass, and obviously try and get up to be within 6 seconds of Vin and claim that podium position. Vin needs to get that foot down and start pulling away. He's still 2 seconds off the back of Unity. As blue is quite comfortably out of the lead. He's got 4.4 seconds is his lead. And he'll just be cruising really at this point. He knows that behind him, Unity has 3 seconds penalties, so you can afford to pick up a penalty if you need be. Obviously don't want to pick up too many penalties. Spartan is now 2.4 off the back of Wild Wolf. And he's starting to reel him in even more. Every corner, those extra grippier tyres just give him more grip off the line. And that gap is 2.1 seconds now. Crucially though, Vin has closed up a little bit on Unity. That's down to 1.7 now. So we're on 10 of 13. Vin does have 6 seconds penalties, so he's actually defending realistically from Wild Wolf 1, who is pretty much 1.4 off the back of him, but doesn't have to actually make a pass. But Spartan is the man he's really defending from, as he is coming after him. It's about 3 seconds. That's a lot of mistakes there from Vin. That's going to allow Wild Wolf 1 and Spartan to close up that a little bit more. 7.6 is the gap. 7.3 is the gap. 7.2 now, so it's come down half a second there. So Spartan's now right off the back of Wild Wolf 1, getting into that DRS zone. Just saw where a bit of damage was in the wall. That must have been one of Raven Dakar positive vibes. Spartan now going to get this DRS. He's going to get a beautiful drive off the corner. Unity is retired. Sector 1, what happened there? He's just made a big mistake then. Where is that? How has he lost it there? I don't know. Must have just not... Oh, Spartan nearly making an even bigger mistake. Very late to the brakes there. Unity must have made a mistake. He gone around turn 1. Must have just clipped the wall. Not paying attention enough. And that is taking him out of the race. We're down to 4. We're on lap 11 of 13. And Spartan's now racing for a podium. Blue's lead is now nearly 10 seconds, so his is comfortable. Vin does have that 6 seconds of penalties. Unity left the session, obviously in a bit of a frustration then for him, making a big mistake like that. Spartan now with his 3 second penalty. That's nullified a lot of Vin's and has that pushed Vin into a P2 place then. Spartan with DRS just not closing up enough on one with obviously just... Yeah, look at that, he's using a lot of DRS, he's down to 16%. Spartan is right on the back of him. So Wild actually pulling away a little bit there from Spartan off that corner. Spartan's now going to get that DRS. 0.4 is the gap. Is it going to be close enough to Spartan? Is he going to outbrake himself like he did last time? And he's just closed up. Just not close enough though to make a move. With only a few laps to go, and that's almost looking like Wild Wolf just let Spartan through. Knew he was coming. And Spartan up then to P3. And set his sights on Vin. As the gap to Vin is now 7 seconds. Is it too little too late for Spartan? He does have 3 seconds compared to Vin's 6 seconds. But that's 4 seconds he needs to find. Or Vin needs to find a 3 second penalty to get Spartan up there. But 1-1 is still on the back of Spartan, so who knows what could happen. Spartan's tyres fall off the edge of that cliff. Wild One will be there to take advantage of it. Let's have a look at Vin as he's just started his last lap. Blue comfortably in the lead, 12 and a bit seconds up the road. Is Wild Wolf 1 close enough to Spartan to make a move? I don't think so. He's just dropping back here a little bit. He's on red fuel. Spartan isn't on red fuel yet, so he's got a little bit more to burn. And if you can find 1.5 seconds on this lap, he'll be right up there behind Finn if Finn picks up another penalty. Here we are. If and buts for candy and nuts. We'd all have a great time, wouldn't we? Both running wide on the exit there of turn 5. Is Wild Wolf going to be making a move late in this race? Maybe he doesn't need to. Maybe, I know Spartan's got a penalty. I don't know if Wild Wolf's got penalties. I suspect he does. So they're both... Oh, there he definitely does. They're both driving very similar races, using a lot of extra track. Spartan going defensive there. Wild Wolf's going to get a better drive off the corner. 0.27 is the gap. DRS is open. This is going to be one of the last chances of Wild Wolf want to make this move. Going to go down the inside. Through he goes. Is he overshot? He has overshot. He's hit the wall. He's still going. Blue has won the race out front. Wild One made a great move. Just unfortunately broke a little bit too late. Going into the wall. And it's just lost the chance then. Going to still bring it home in P4. And Spartan's going to come across the line P3. And Wild One then in P4. So there you go. Let's have a quick rundown of the results in a moment. There you go, so Blue taking the win then. Pole position and the win. And fastest lap as well, so the Holy Trinity as such. Followed by Vin, Spartan, Wild Wolf 1, Unity, Positive Vibes and Raven Duck. Obviously Unity, Positive Vibes and Raven Duck DNFing. Unfortunate race for them. But still, great race all round. And yeah. So next week we'll be off to Japan. So join us then, same time, which is 8 o'clock UK time or 9 o'clock European Central Time.